Hello, my narcissistic abuse family. It has been a minute, but today was the first day of school, so I'm going to deliver. This is totally not a topic that I was planning to talk about, but I cannot ignore it. It's so important. My husband and I were talking this morning about how proud of our children we are. Course, every time I start talking about how much I love them, and I'm sorry, I'm like distracted by the light. Anyway, um every time I talk about how much I love them and cherish them, it brings me back to my own garbage childhood and the people that were, my parents, like, that were physically present during my upbringing, making my life miserable. So basically, we were saying, you know what? One of you actually commented on one of my videos and said that your narcissistic mother got drunk at a wedding and said, the only reason I didn't want children, but the only reason I had you was because it was the thing to do. I responded and I said, I think she spoke for all narcissistic mothers across the world. Um, it's like they didn't want children, and that's painfully clear. They just did it for themselves, like they do everything else, but they did it because it was like the thing to do, because they had to keep up with the Joneses. They had to keep up with everyone else, and it's part of their persona that they're trying to exude to the outside world. But then there's real parents like Joe and myself, and it's so cool because I love when he says these things, because I'm like, yes, that's exactly how I feel. And having someone else to like confirm that, I'm like, yes, like this is how it should be. When you grow up in that dysfunction, in that miserable, awful, ominous environment, that's all you know. So you don't know that there's a better life out there, that there's a better world, there's good people, there's functional families that actually love each other, and parents that are good to their kids. It's incredible. But what I was saying was that we are so proud of our daughters. They are such good little people. And obviously, I'm a biased mother, but just the thing, I don't want to like violate my daughter's privacy because she's very protective of her privacy, but my 10-year-old, she's going through some stuff with friends, and she's talking to me, and it gets me so emotional. I just want to cry because I think back and I'm like, gosh, this is like trials and tribulations of growing up. Everybody goes through it. But like, shoot, I navigated all of that by myself. So did you. Like, how did we survive, man? Like, your parents, your family is your world when you're little. It's just mind blowing to me. I will always love and support these children, and I can't imagine otherwise. And Joe has the exact same attitude. I have a great story from Joe, too. So he was cleaning the other day, and he was like mopping the floor or something. And our daughter Madeline came down, and she was like, hey, Dad, what are you doing? And he was going to respond snarky like he would, like to me or something. Be like, what does it look like I'm doing? I'm building a wall or something, like he was gonna be a smart Weisenheimer about it. But he caught himself and he said, he started a conversation with her because they're just little kids, like they're just timid and they want to talk, but they don't have the initiative, I guess, to start a conversation, or the, I don't know, I guess, confidence yet. Like, that's why we're here, because we're helping them and we're building them up. And I'll do that every day of my life. I will tell these kids how incredible and amazing they are. So anyway, Joe caught himself and he was like, "Hey, let's talk," or whatever. And they did. They had an awesome conversation. He said, "I would have lost to that if I was a jerk, and my initial like knee jerk response was like a snappy thing to say." Like, he caught himself, and like, that's what it is, man. This is us as parents, like the parents we always wanted and needed. So, like I said, it was our kid's first day of school, so Joe took off, and it's special. And like, they have all the jitters of first day back to school. Where's my classroom? Who's going to be with me? Where am I going to sit? What bus am I on? Like, all that stuff. And I'm here for it, man. I'm like totally supporting our daughters, and Maddie is just like me. She is just like me. She is like a ball of anxiety. And I'm doing everything I can to reassure her. And it's awesome. It's so awesome to be a parent and to be everything we wanted and needed and did not have. So if you're not a parent yet and you're a victim of narcissistic abuse, don't worry, man. Like I was saying to Joe, and I were saying this, it's like you're born with these inherent traits, these characteristics. Like, obviously, I was raised in a home with my sibling, the golden boy, and he went the completely different route. We were raised in the same environment, but he's totally different than me. He's miserable. I have no doubt about that. But he's like mean. Like I said to Joe, I was like, even if the roles were reversed and they favored me, I would be like, "You're being awful to my brother. Like, why would you treat him so badly?" But he was not born with that. But we were, and we're trailblazers. We are cycle breakers, and it's awesome. It's an awesome thing to be. And it stinks that we went through this terrible hardship growing up, but it's absolutely worth it in our adult life to love and truly appreciate our real families. So that's all. This isn't anything more than what I'm saying, basically, is that I'm so grateful to be. Oh, that's the other thing Joe said. He said exactly what I feel all the time. It's an honor and a privilege to raise these children. It absolutely is. And unfortunately, not all parents across the world appreciate this privilege. It is a privilege and an honor to be a parent, to be responsible for these beautiful young people. I love that Joe said that. I love that we both feel that way. I love our family so much. I can't say it enough. If you saw my YouTube, or if you saw my Instagram story this weekend, you see where I'm at. I'm very sentimental these days. But anyway, guys, please like, subscribe, share with anyone you think would benefit from this. I appreciate you all, and I'll be back soon.